match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
I can see my fantasy, I'm so consumed in bed. What I see takes over me, I'm blind beyond repair.
Love me so sorry.
And so, like I was saying, that's why I think in the future, the replacement of the foreskin is going to be huge. It's going to
shut the fuck up.
I don't think I've ever hit it that quick on you. I don't think in a fucking year and some change I've ever hit it on you that quick.
You don't miss your foreskin?
My name's Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman. Am I right?
Foreskin Collins.
Oh God, it's gonna be that night.
No, I'm at Jensen Collins. I'm Ethan. I'm at Jensen Collins 3. You can find me on Twitter. Below us is Tony. You can find him here on the show most Thursday nights.
Get your hand off of your boom arm.
And you can find us at On a Forklift Pod on Twitter, On a Forklift Wrestling Pod on Twitch, On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, Thursday nights at 9 on UPN, and we are on Spotify Friday mornings.
You guys have to stop touching the boom arms. It's so echoey.
I'm not touching it now.
Ooh. Oh, shit. And our special guest.
Oh.
What up?
Hey, it's Jeremiah Goldmain.
God.
I'm a big fan of this guy. I'm so excited you agreed to be on the show. Thank you so much.
No worries, guys. What's going on?
Nothing. We're just getting high. We're waiting for you. We just want to talk to you about the show coming up next fucking Friday night.
Dog, that's like a week away. Hey.
No way. No way.
We're gonna be there the whole time, just chilling out. We've been excited since I met you the first time.
Dog, it's gonna be a long ass show, but like in a good way.
Yeah,
like in a like a worth your money way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, because one of our friends, Kyle, he's the one who turned us on to For You Wrestling, and love Kyle, great dude. My favorite GameStop employee that's still there.
Man.
Oh, that Kyle. I thought you were Kyle. Too many Kyles. Too much drywall. Too much monster.
Oh my God.
But Jeremiah, how the fuck are you tonight?
Dog, good. A little tired. Was working in the fields today.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Doing some harvesting, if you will.
Okay.
Now he's eating some Swedish fish.
Botany.
Horticulturalist Jeremiah Goldmain.
Yeah. Like an urban florist.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I'm
this
about
guy
to be doing for a living.
This guy's energy at the show last time, unmatched. He's running around, just
I'm gonna gush because this man came out in a crop top Adam Wick t-shirt to Call Me By Your Name, and I was in love from that second. It was my second favorite entrance of the night, behind the dude who came, Mark Ross, who came out to the entirety of Phil Collins.
I already knew who you were gonna say beat me. Like, it's listen, there's one entrance at the FU show, and now it's everywhere.
Hi, welcome to the chat. It's everywhere.
Like Mark Ross's entrance is now just like a thing. And like it's fantastic. Like, people have seen it now probably like 8 times, and they still don't understand when he's coming out. And it's like, there's only one part of the song. Like,
I looked at Clinton, and the moment the song hit, I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna wait for the drop, isn't he? And I'm like, they realize that's like 3.5 minutes into the song.
Jeremiah walked behind us, and there was some dude in the crowd bitching at the length of the entrance, and I was like, "Excuse me, sir, it's Phil Collins. We don't fast forward Phil Collins in this state here."
Hey, so anybody wonders, this right here, forklift operator permit.
Yeah,
Boom.
He's the forklift operator. He's the one who put Judy Bagwell on the forklift.
that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a part of history. Like, so like it's weird, right? Like with wrestling, like 10 years ago, that was a horrible thing, right? Like, it was a stain, it was a tarnish, but now it's remembered in such like a memeable, funny light.
Mm-hmm.
It's good now. Like it did a circle.
Our mystery friend who we talk about a lot but isn't on the show, Kevin, came over. He's like, we need to watch the greatest match in professional wrestling history. It's about 6 years ago. And we turned that on, and it has been our lifelong obsession. I really want to give out details, but somehow in all of our ventures of trying to see if Judy Bagwell was alive because we cared, Ethan found her phone number.
Oh,
That's
God.
fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
fantastic.
I'm like, you guys realize that Buff's wife, well, ex-wife's name was Judy as well. It was Judy Bagwell.
The look on Kevin's face don't put it out there.
God damn it, Ethan.
Clinton, what do you want from me?
Are you a fucking idiot?
She's dead.
You just doxed some random person.
You're a fucking idiot.
I agree.
Yo, Judy. Oh, that sucks. That sucks to be them.
Oh, man.
Clinton, do you have a Ouija board? Because that's a better way to call her.
So our friend Tony here is in rare form tonight.
I'm just being honest.
So I'd like to ask 3 questions to every person that comes on the show because it's fun. First of all, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm just a fantastically dressed, amazingly awesome human being who happens to dabble in pro wrestling and pro wrestling managing and promoting and all of that fun stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm an entertainer. It's what I like to do. I like to razzle dazzle, jazz hands. There it is, my camera. I'm not good with these. Like, it's got me in like that reverse mode where if you want to go down, you got to go up type shit.
It fucks us up every week, and we've been doing this for over a year.
It's horrible. Like, but it's fine. We'll get technology one day that can project you the way. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. No, I do the pro wrestles. I entertain. I don't know. I live my best life.
That's what I love to hear.
That is
the second
really
one we feel is a more important question. What's your favorite wrestling video game of all time?
Man, that's hard. Because like there's so many good ones, right? Like the cliche, like dope answer is No Mercy. Because like it's one of the best, right? For like the technology it was on, the gameplay, all of that shit. Like the N64 era gaming was fantastic, right? Like, yeah, the graphics were like, if you compare it to like now, are garbage, but like the story mode, right? Like you could create a dude and it felt real. They were able to immerse you in a story. It felt like somebody actually gave a shit. Like I don't know what companies did it at the time, but that company with the WWE ones, the WCW ones were just like raw, fun, rampagey wrestling. But like the WWE ones had story to them, right? But obviously the correct answer here, if you smoke weed, is it came out a few years ago. It's like I don't know the name fully, but it's like WWE meets NBA Jams.
Oh, the fucking All-Stars game?
Yeah, that game's like the greatest, right? Because like if 2 people are really good, it's a never-ending battle of just finishers for like ever.
And that brought back my big problem with nowadays wrestling games is that when the finishers hit, they don't look effective. When CM Punk hit a go to sleep in All-Stars, someone died.
Oh no, it's fantastic. Like first of all, like I wrestles, right? And there's no way I can jump 20 feet in the air to do shit. But I wish I could. And like if I could, it would be entertaining as shit.
You would be fucking main eventing WrestleMania if you could jump 20 feet in the air.
I feel like if I could I feel like real talk, if I could jump 20 feet in the air, I'd probably be doing a lot more than like wrestling. Like I'd clearly be #1 draft pick NBA. Like,
oh, you'd have gold medals.
Yeah,
Olympic
dog.
gold
Like
medals.
it'd be like, all right, listen, just toss me the ball. Don't.
Gold medal.
We did it.
So
Quick, now pass me the rock.
My third question is because wrestlers are always on the road. They're always traveling. And I assume a lot of wrestlers eat fast food. So what's your favorite fast food franchise?
Man, that one's hard too. Like, I don't know. I became a big fan. Like, so like there's like to eat if I'm on the road, I like Zaxby's. Like Zaxby's is fire. They got this hot honey mustard sauce that you can get everything covered in, and it's delicious. But like man, like, dog, we could talk for hours about fast food. Like, I'm a
We
big
do.
fan right now of this like Mr. Beast burger
Mhm.
because like the one that's like near me that I order from on the apps is delicious. But then I saw like this video of these other people getting it, and theirs looked different than my Mr. Beast. And like I was researching it, and like anybody can have a Mr. Beast,
Mhm.
right? Like, so like the Mr. Beast could be completely different at a different Mr. Beast than you're going to. And I find that like, I don't know, I think that's weird, but I like it. I don't know.
Okay. I've
But,
never
like,
had Mr. Beast burger just because I've
Also-
heard that it depends on the location you get it from.
Yeah,
It's
like
gonna be good
the
or
one
not.
I go to, it's like Dearborn Heights. It's on Kinloch. Shout out! They're actually in an ice skating arena, right? Like a local ice skating arena,
Fisk?
and like their food's the bomb diggity.
Okay.
But like, I don't want to try any other Mr. Beast because like right now I'm happy with the fast food joint because I think that's the real answer to that question. Is like it's just a locational thing, right? Like your favorite fast food joint might not even be like your favorite fast food. It's just the one that fucks up your food the least.
That's
You know,
true.
like, Tony, the Taco Bell KFC combo.
Oh,
we-
Mylan.
We lived in an apartment building, and the closest fast food place that was open past 10 was a combo KFC Taco Bell. And you would go through the drive-thru, place your order, knowing damn well you were not going to get the right order. So it was
Yeah.
always you played that game? It was like higher or lower, like Price is Right, and it was did I get a better meal than what I ordered, or was it worse?
Is it Canfield?
The
ice
arena?
arena?
Beast.
No, the yeah. It's the Canfield Ice Arena. I feel like that was for the Mr. Beast question.
Yeah,
Probably. We
Yeah,
run out of delays sometimes. By the way, thank you, Nightmare Cuda, for the sub. We appreciate you. Everyone, give us money. We love money. It lets us fuck this idiot up way more.
It makes the world go round.
Mhm.
So
Like right now, if we get to 50 subs, I'm letting them power bomb me through a table covered in Lego sets.
Oh man, that's expensive. Not be like because of the Legos.
Oh
we
no,
own
I
the
have a whole
Legos.
bunch of sets that scare the shit out of me that I have in my closet that I just want to get rid of.
Yeah, but they're fully built.
I don't want them.
It's the problem.
I just don't want them. You should donate those to a Thomas Vendetta.
Like, I woke up in the middle of the night and this was fucking staring at me. It's creeped the fuck out of me. So these have been in my closet for like a year and a half now.
Those are sweet though. Like those are gonna hurt though, right? Like
Yeah, because they're tall and they're actually
they're solid.
dense.
Like
Yeah.
they're not gonna break. Those are just
Well, I'm a former stuntman. I kind of like the pain. So, I mean, I'm
That's
trying
fair.
to always one up this fucking idiot. He just went through particle board.
Whatever.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
I know.
Legos are painful.
I
Oh,
know.
So,
know.
so actually, what you said something earlier that kind of makes sense. So we talked about we brought up the
We
Judy
love you all
Bagwell
the
thing.
same.
And then we talked about video gaming and No Mercy and whatnot. Wrestling and video games kind of go hand in hand in that if you look at it in a bubble, you can have a certain appreciation for it, and it's not bad. Like even though those games aren't up to what the standard is today, old wrestling kind of is the same way. There's a lot of it that as long as you watch it in the time frame and put yourself in that mindset, it's not as bad as if you looked at it and went, hey, there's really not that much. You have to understand the innovation wasn't there at the time for it. So I think that's why we appreciate the Judy Bagwell thing now, is because that was taking such a risk then, but now that's almost something that would happen.
so
Okay, let me
So-
stop you there because the reason we love that match, it involves Judy Bagwell, Buff Bagwell, Chris Kanyon, and David Arquette. It is the fucking four pillars of 2000s WCW, okay?
So I'm a big fan of like, all right, so like the Hulk Hogan movie, right? That they like rewrote on cocaine in a hotel room the night before, right? It's
Which
a train
one?
wreck, right? But it's amazing because I'm a fan of like coked out train wrecks, and like the Judy Bagwell on a pole match is nothing less than like a coked out train wreck, right? Like there's no logical way that gets out like that. All right, guys, listen. All right, yeah, we're about to put our multi-million-dollar broadcast live on television. All right, and I think we should put Buff's mom on a forklift, call it an on a pole match, right? Like there's nobody like that's sober going, yeah, let's put that on TV. No, they're like ratings.
Dude, Russo was doing lines as long as his unibrow to get that shit on TV.
Oh my god, bro! Listen.
I got an
Went
idea.
outside, found on the cover of the on the Times magazine, David Arquette with the title.
I love him as champion because like you guys have seen me like like I'm pretty, I'm awesome, I have amazing energy, and I present myself as this words as if I'm like 8 feet tall and like the biggest thing in the room, but in reality I'm like 5'9" according to a medical chart, but most women tell me I'm 5'7", right? Like I'm little, I'm petite,
Do you know my wife
dainty,
too?
right?
Is that what this is? I got my driver's license says 5'9", and she's like, "You're 5'7" on a good day."
Yeah, no, like this happens to me. Like I for real feel like I'm 5'9" because like that's what the military told me, right? Like when I was in, and like, so like I'm like they would know that that's the most accountable person who's ever measured my height. Other than that, it's 7-Elevens. Like
this door frame here says I'm 5'8".
Yeah, like depending on which Little Caesars or 7-Eleven I'm at, I'm like 5'9" to 5'11", but no, I'm 5'7" according to women.
Depending on what vendetta the person that put up the has.
So, I do have a question for you. What about indie wrestling do you like better than on TV professional wrestling? Like WWE, AEW. What about indie wrestling and being a promoter do you like?
Oh, I'm on it.
That's a fucking awesome answer.
You're
awesome answer.
Fucking,
Like I'm on it. Like
We had a conversation because you were like, I don't know if we can talk about this, but you were kind of down and out about your match. I fucking loved it at that show. That shit was great. And you were just like, people here don't appreciate comedy matches. Man, I'll tell you what, comedy has the biggest place in wrestling ever. Fucking,
Okay.
I will always say Revolution 2020. Before they had the fucking Moxley Jericho match, what match went on before that? Pac versus Cassidy in one of the greatest comedy matches of all time. The crowd for Jericho and Moxley would not have been anywhere near as hot if you would have put any other match before that.
So like the thing with comedy wrestling, right? Because like the thing about it is like, and everybody just like, oh, it's a crutch, right? It's one of those like I like that Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
That's really good. Like when I went to the Mania when like COVID was over, quote unquote, fucking I was all about Bad Bunny, like as a joke kind of, but like I was psyched, like I was hyped, like I'm cultural. I listen to music outside of just like English, right? So like like I knew who the new Beatle was, but like we get to like everybody's like, you're being dumb, stop trying to like just be an asshole to everybody. I'm like, all right. You get there the night that Bad Bunny's wrestling, night one, and I swear to fucking God, he's the goddamn Beatles, bro. Like, people had him shaved into the side of their head. I say people because it was multiple. Like, they had shirts you couldn't even buy at the WrestleMania. Like, night one, he was the most over human being in that building.
Yeah, he was.
And he did an amazing Canadian destroyer and stole the fucking show. And it was amazing. And Jake Paul's gonna do great. Like you can love or hate him, right? Like the guy's putting his time in. He's like behind the scenes, he's obviously putting in work. The dude's doing fucking amazing. My favorite WrestleMania match of all times happened. I believe it was this year. Like I'm high, so like I could be getting my timeline wrong, but it's the what is it? Sami Zayn versus Johnny.
It's my favorite match this year. And no match has made me happier than that match this year.
I don't think no match in like wrestling history has made me as happy as that match, right? Like it had everything I needed in both a wrestling match and just like an episode of Jackass and just like it was the perfect blend of both of their worlds in one form of entertainment. But like to get back to my point, I sidetracked hard. That even ties into it though, right? Like for a comedy match to be good, the wrestling also has to be good, right? Like it doesn't necessarily have to be like the creme de la creme 5-star indie classic wrestling, but it can't just be some like subpar day 2 guy doing great comedy but mid wrestling stuff, because like it's hard, man. Orange Cassidy, like doing it, like kipping up onto your feet like Shawn Michaels with your hands is not easy. So like Shawn Michaels is here and he knows like doing the kip up is not easy, right? So doing it with your hands in your pocket, that's fucking hard.
His core is just solid, rock solid. Like, it's one full ab.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it takes work to do that, right? Because like you have to know timing and wrestling, right? Because like you're not trying to like murder a human being, right? Like, but at the same time, you also have to have comedy timing, because like if you fuck that up, a joke's dead.
Yeah. I think that's what happened a lot with Chikara. Is the comedy was great, but the wrestling wasn't there for a lot of the guys. There's a lot of really good wrestling that goes on in that, but some of it you'd have these fantastic comedy spots, most hilarious thing, and then the move would make everything fall flat. It just didn't seem believable. And with like OC and Pac and even to a lesser extent like Danhausen, people like that, it's enough to where they'll put, or when they put Danhausen with Hook makes Danhausen's comedy believable in a wrestling sense. So comedy has the biggest spot in wrestling because it's the easiest way to lighten the mood, especially after like a serious visceral match.
I mean, that was like some of my favorite wrestling stuff happened to be comedy bits in PWG, because they're just hilarious, and the athleticism that it requires to do what they were doing for comedy was just great. But the one comedy thing that I really enjoyed was the last show we went to, and there's one name that stuck with me that I still will say.
Say it, Tony.
Tiger!
The Great Tiger!
Tiger!
Like, see, I'm sad because like that's not a comedy bit, right? No. Like that is a superhero ninja tiger person that like just, all right, like I don't know, right? This is some FU lore, right? Like that guy, like he's been around for hundreds of years, and like the old animes, right, where you see shit like that, it's just based on him kicking ass, taking names. That's all. Yeah, no, like that's completely real. Like it's as real as Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil, Snooki, like all of those things.
Like his match with the duck goose bit got me the most in that match. The duck clothesline and then goose, that fucking shit broke me.
That was a comical masterpiece in like indie wrestling, right? And like you guys were at the show. There was a lot of hard hitting shit. No. Oh. Yes. Snooki from the Jersey Shore. See, that just validates that the Great Tiger is real because they know who the Snooki is. Like, that's all I'm saying. But like, yeah, no, we totally followed. So like, you guys were there. It was a hard hitting, fast paced, crazy ass show. And then the co-main event was a comedy classic with Duck Duck Goose, and just everything. Like it was, I don't know. You get everything. You get the entire world of wrestling for $20 to $25, depending on if you message the For Us Wrestling before the show.
We were messaging our group chat like, "Hey guys, don't make any plans. October 28th, we're booked. We're going to this thing. I do not care." Like no one is like, I think his wife was trying to plan a Halloween party. And we're like, make sure it's not the 28th. Make sure it's not the 28th.
We're having a costume contest, and I will plug this about our show because we're the only show that has it. And like, I think every show needs to figure this out and get it. The waitresses will bring you alcohol and food to you.
for normal bar pricing. So,
Yeah, no,
like,
it's not like you're getting charged at Arbor Lake more. No, it's just they're like, yo, don't get up. We'll bring it to you.
Hell yeah.
You can get a good wrestling show and fucking drunk off your ass for about $50.
Bro, they can get you shit like real talk. If you don't like, if you're not like somebody who drinks, you can get shit faced for like $7.
Mm-hmm.
Like one drink comes in like a giant. I don't know if that's just for our show days or if Renegades just serves you.
That's
in
Renegades
a
I was gonna say, Clint, you can speak to this.
Is that just how they serve?
Yep,
Like,
I've been drunk in that bar many of nights doing karaoke, and that is how they bring them all times.
Okay, so yeah, they just get you fucked up.
Yes,
Yeah.
$7 Trevor over here.
Man, like I used to go when it was rock stars. Like I love the place now. But like when it was rock stars, that was like my joint because I was younger. Oh, got the hiccups. I was younger. Like I was into the karaoke thing. They had fake guitars and like they had a trivia night thing with like music and name that tune shit. And it was cool.
No, because I used to go there when it was rock stars too, because I love comedy and everything. And I feel when you go to those places like a sad country bar, you're going to get every motherfucker singing out of key. It's just like, it's too late to apologize, Brian, you asshole. Like that shit. That's the shit you're going to get. So I go
Somebody told me that you...
Yeah, like that. You're going to get them sad motherfuckers singing. So I go up there and I sing Fucker Gently to put some energy back in the room.
Dog, I was at it's what the fuck is it? Is it Chatters? It's one of the bars like in that area.
Oh yeah,
that's literally 400 feet from
Did it smell like crabs?
Like I think it was Chatters. It was a Sunday night, right? And it was pretty hype. Karaoke's going on. Like the energy's high. Definitely like a lot of like fucking is gonna be happening, right? Like the vibe's hot. WAP just played, right? Like they stopped singing for WAP so they could have like a shots and horny break. Like,
yeah.
All right. Good karaoke DJ until he put on the next singer. Like the vibe's hot, man. Like they need a mop. Wet floor signs out. Here you go. And then they let this chick come up and like, man, you could just tell from her, like she's dressed in goth gear, right? Which, like, I'm not judging goths. I know a lot of goths. It's really cool when the goth goes up and then they sing Snoop Dogg, right? Or something cool, right? No, this bitch had something to prove. She was here to prove to all of us that she should have probably got a ticket the 5 times she auditioned for American Idol. Because this chick goes up, cannot read a room, like must have left her glasses. Because this motherfucker goes and sings the Dying Dog song. Right, the
Sarah McLachlan?
Yes, yeah, no, dog, bro, just boom, the whole move's dead. Like you can just, they're leaving in droves. It's the greatest thing ever, and she is so proud of herself. Like she killed it.
Oh my god. Could you imagine somebody trying to throw it back on you to that song though? Ooh, this song, let me just
Tony, do you remember that time we were at the VU and that chick stripped in consecutive songs? She stripped to Aerials by System of a Down, and then I want to say it was Ludacris, Get Back. And it was just one of those things where you were thrown up. You're just like, she comes up, alternative looking chick, and you're like, okay, yeah, no problem. And I think it was Get Back was first. And you're like, okay, it makes sense. Reading the room, everything. And then Ariel starts playing. You're like, is this really where we go from here?
I love those nights, right? Because like you get to learn a lot about the girl you're watching strip for your dollars, right? Because like those are the nights they're picking the music. And it's the best. Like we were, fuck, man. This was like I was 19. We're at the VU because we're 19 and you can't drink booze there, so you can go there. And like, it was one of those nights where like it's just a slow night, but like people wanted to go see boobs, and I was like, all right, let's go see boobs. And like, God, it was something like so not on the radio. That just came on, and we were sitting front row because I think there was maybe 3 other people in the building besides our group of 5, and I was like just out. I thought I was quiet. I was just like, man, that's a damn good song.
Ethan,
from the stage, she just like, oh, thank you. And I'm just
Ethan,
like, oh,
I'm going to say this before you. So I used to go to the VU a lot. I was a depraved teenager. I'd go across the street to Tom's, grab myself some beer, drink it in the VU parking lot, walk past the bus stop, go in the VU. But they used to do theme nights. Every Thanksgiving, they had Thanksgiving wrestling, where they would have
potatoes and gravy
mashed
wrestling.
potatoes and gravy on the stage in a kiddie pool, and they would wrestle. It was
Tony's mic is gone.
yeah, it died.
His mic died.
Yeah, so Tony and I are sitting front. We come in. We didn't even know. We knew that was going on. And the lady's like, oh, yeah, go ahead and sit right here. Sits us on stage.
Just have a
And
front row
we are
seat.
just, by the end of the night, we're
You're there.
covered head to
We
toe
got you.
in just instant mashed potatoes and gravy. And they're like giving us hoodies. Like we're just going to change out of them. Tony's just wiping himself off with a brand new hoodie and leaves it on the table.
Do you guys do fantasy football at all?
Yes.
Unfortunately,
He hates it, but
I fucking hate it.
I'm in a league I'm in 2 leagues right now, right? Like they're both wrestling leagues, so like it fits the interview kind of. So like I have in one of them I have who I picked up because it's like a 16-man league, so it's stupid. So like I have people I've never heard of. Like I only care about them because they're on my team, right?
right.
Type shit. But like this T Hill guy,
He's on my
Tyreek
team.
Hill.
oh my god, like he's a tight end, right?
Taysom Hill. Oh,
Yes.
no.
He's a tight end,
he's a
but
tight
he
end
plays
with a backup
quarterback.
Yes.
So it's bullshit. But in every league I'm in, he's an eligible tight end.
So, I gotta just tell this story about strip club because I've only ever been.
Sorry.
once. I don't like strip clubs. I'm an awkward dude. So I was there and I had my fucking sunglasses on my head. Stripper walks up and just grabs them off my head. And I'm just like, what? Can I have my glasses back? She's like, I broke my glasses and I need some for my dance and these look cute. I was like, where are your glasses? Just bring them to me. She brought them to me. I fixed them. And then she puts them on. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Do you want a free dance? And before I couldn't have said no any quicker. This chick had a nose bigger than Triple H's. My God. No. I was like, no, thank you, please. No, I'm good. I'll watch you on the stage. Thanks.
Nope, I know her.
Yeah, but this is
Somebody's like, I have her home address.
No. God damn it.
She's actually a great person. She's head of the PTA. All right.
How
dare you?
She's actually a really cool person.
See?
I'm awkward as fuck, and I didn't feel like, getting poked in the eye with a nose. I'm sorry.
I got one last stripper story, and it was the
But here, Ethan, tell them about this and how you've never held it.
We went with our buddy one time, and he was always one of the like smooth talkers, but he never wanted to cash out any money. So she took his hat. So one of the dancers took his hat one time, and she was walking away with it. And I've never seen somebody move quicker to snatch their hat back. And Mark just grabbed it, and he's like, I gotta go, guys. And puts his hat on and just walks out. And we're like, well, what the hell? She comes back to the table. She goes, do you guys want any dances? And Tony was the driver. And Tony's like, so Mark's standing outside. It's like 30 degrees outside. He has no coat on. And he's like, where's Tony? And I was like, he's getting a dance with the chick you just, offended or whatever. He's like, I don't care. That was gross. And I was like,
I don't care.
The club, which wasn't hard, but still.
But Clinton, I do question, why are you holding my title?
I'm holding the 2020 championship.
Oh, I was about to say,
And
not the 21.
And I've got the silver medal from last year. Hey, Ethan, how much football do I watch?
0, unless you come over to my house and hang out on a Sunday
Hey,
morning.
Ethan, who do I draft in the first round of every league?
A kicker.
Damn.
Every year. I always
Every year.
finish first or second.
He drafted Harrison Butker this year, and then he dropped him after he got injured, so he doesn't even have his first round pick.
The thing I've discovered with fantasy football, right? Like, because I've been doing fantasy football I'm more of a fantasy football fan than I am a football fan. Like, if that makes sense, right?
The
like,
league
I
is
like-
the reason
totally.
I play fantasy football.
I only watch football because of fantasy. If I'm not playing fantasy, like the past 2 years I haven't played,
Mhm.
I don't watch football. Like, I don't care. There's like, oh yay, go Lions. like I'm a realist though. I've lived here my whole life. We're not winning, so there's really nothing to care about in football, right?
No.
So, but fantasy's great. Like the Buffalo Josh Allens are really strong. Like that, I picked him up 4th round. Like you're not supposed to do that according to people who don't win fantasy football, but. But like Josh Allen consistent, like the lowest he scored is I think like 35 points this year in a game. Like, yeah, no, that guy's ridiculous.
You just keep him on because Josh Allen is a fucking beast.
He's like, I love how he just looks like a normal dude, and then he's just like the Hulk. Like, I'm just gonna run a foot. He runs like it's like Big Ben Roethlisberger, but like good, like really good.
Doesn't look like he's running through molasses constantly.
Yeah, no, he's trying to like. It looks. I don't know. I like him. I'm a fan. When I win my fantasy league this year because of him, I'm gonna have his jersey because he's fantastic. That's what I do.
And he's young enough that you can have the jersey and it's not bad for years.
Yeah, no, it's not like he's retiring next year. Like, there's no way Buffalo's going to get. If you get a cow that like utters out money, why would you get rid of that? That makes no sense.
Right.
None at all. By the way, if anyone in the chat has any questions, please put them in there because, like, fuck, we're having fun here. But we're also about you guys. We're here to bring you entertainment. That's why we brought the golden entertainment down there, the 24-karat lion.
Man, also like Tom Brady, like he was so good last year and down. Like what happened? That's like
father time, old age, whatever it is. I got a question. Not that this deviates from football back to wrestling. So what brought FU about? What is the history of FU?
It's just a company for us, man. Like that's what the FU stands for. Like it's a funny fuck you joke, right? Like FU, haha. But it's like for us, like for the wrestlers, for the fans, for the refs, for anybody and everybody involved in it, at it, a part of it. Like it's like
because we're big fit. We love just campy, not even campy. We love the campy bits. We love the very professional bits. The everything that there is about indie wrestling, because that's when you really feel what a person is. There's a lot of emotion in it. There's not somebody writing for the workers. They're doing most of their stuff on their own. Maybe somebody's throwing an idea here and there. They're bouncing stuff off. It's a collective group. So it's impressive when you see a group of guys, gals, everybody that is putting a cohesive show together and having an absolute blast with it. From everything that I've seen, because unfortunately I wasn't there at the last event, these guys have raved just flying colors about the show. So I'm very excited to be there.
It's like it's an experience. Like when like you talk to somebody who's like been there, like been to a few of them, like the big thing we get is it's a vibe. Right. And like, you don't get that like as an explanation for a lot of things. And like, especially wrestling, right? Like, no, it's a vibe. Like that's a good thing. Right. Like, you look at the West Coast, there's two companies out there that are vibes, right? Hood Slam, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Yeah. Vibes.
You got, and
right.
I watch a lot of IWTV. I don't know about the other guys here. I watch a lot of like AIW and BLP. So I get some exposure with that stuff. And that's kind of the level that I like. And from what I get is that's where FU is at. And so I'm excited. Like I said, I'm flat out excited for it. This is going to be a great time. It's a great time of year. It's right around Halloween. I can't think of any better thing to do on a Friday night.
I would play the clip I have of Jeremiah down there from the show, but I'm pretty sure we would get DMCA'd because it has Call Me By Your Name on it. So I've got which one's this? That's the one where I made him break. Let me see. I know I got that video here. I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, you're fine. No.
There
so
it is.
What is so
putting it now?
And earlier you said, sorry to plug something. No, by all means, plug away. Like that's everything that you want.
Plugging is great. Like it's the best. But like no, like it's like a lot of shows, right? Like like I'm not gonna like 100% like explain how the business works, right? But like, so like the bigger companies, right? Like your TV shows, your WWEs and stuff, right? There's people writing a story, and essentially like an indie show, right? Like I don't know, you have somebody who generates the direction of the thing, right?
Right.
Like you gotta like somebody has to take the reins or else it's chaos, right? Like it's just how it goes. But like if you like other than like getting a building and doing some like legal paperwork type shit, it's here's the things, tell your story. I can't do. I couldn't book we have Facade coming, right? Like the Neon Ninja. He's been around the indie scene forever. If you haven't seen him, look him up. He does all of the flippies, and he does them the bestest.
The bestest of flippies.
The bestest of the flippies. But like, I can't tell somebody like Facade how to do Facade, right?
Right.
Just like somebody couldn't be like, this is how Jeremiah Goldmain should be, because it's not. Only I know how that should be because I'm that guy, and only Facade knows how to do the flippies like Facade because he's Facade.
So give me 1 second, Ethan, before you go on, because I've got a clip from the last show we went to. It features Adam Wick, who is fighting for the title against Mark Ross on the 28th, which that match should be fucking mint. Here you go.
Oh, that match, I love how
What was that?
I was saying I was just gonna commentate on the story of it. Like that shit just came together. Like that was cool.
Let me play this clip. Everyone, 60 seconds.
Whoa, careful with that tree, guys. It's a rare tree. Get your ass down.
Awesome.
It's so much fun.
I was laughing because everybody was good. Like so, like if you listen to the background, I think you can hear me screaming at first. TV, because like I'm in charge of that insurance. Like, TV, no, not the TV. And then of course the FU fans are like TV because they think it's funny and wrestling.
So my buddy who doesn't really watch wrestling, but I'm trying to get to come to the show. He's coming to the show for one reason, and I have to point him out in the video. But it's the dude shirtless and just the leather vest.
Oh my god, that's Uncle Ned.
He was just like, I saw that, and he was like, that is a wrestling fan. He just saw him, and he was enamored. He's like, do you have any more videos of the guy in the vest? And I sent him your entrance where you like brushed by him and he kind of swooned. He was like, that guy is a fucking entertainer. I was like, Jeremiah's great. He's like, no, the dude in the vest.
No fucking dog. Uncle Ned. So, fun fact about Uncle Ned, you see all those amazing paintings like at my show and at Horror Slam?
Yeah.
That crazy dude does that.
He does those?
Bro, he can do one of those, like, if you just show him a picture in like 30 minutes. Like, just a hand-painted piece of fucking art in 30 minutes. Like, he charges like $20 for that shit. And I'm just like, you understand, like, that's way not enough money for, like, what you're doing. It's like, nah, man, nah. And I'm like, all right, Picasso. It's cool. But like, I have two of them in my room that I stare at because I don't know, they're really good, and like I look good. It's narcissism. It happens.
No, it's great.
But yeah, no, like 30 seconds, this guy just whips these things out. Like, so not only is he a crazy psychopath with gusset plates on his shoulder pads, but he's an artist. He has a tender side.
Ethan, I might have to talk to him about something.
Yeah,
you should interview him is what you should do, because that guy is just a riot.
I'll interview anyone.
How can anybody in a biker vest with gusset plates and like nails on it not be a ratings boost?
Oh no, at any time. That was my reason I had the big question about like how FU came about, because I'm gonna like, you can sound a siren, whatever it is. So I know some guys from like CCW and places like that. It's a very different show as compared to what FU's got. And it's not a bad thing that it's different, but you have such a unique brand for the area that it's hard to look away from it. You know, I feel like there's a lot of people, and this isn't a bad thing, want to believe that they're bigger than they are. They have a really high goal. And I feel like your goal is fun. Like, it's the first two letters of it. Everything is in there. It's fun. That's just awesome. Like, that's awesome. You're out there. The exposure will bring itself if the product is good.
We're not like I don't know. There's like, I'm a realist, right? Like I live in the realities. I can't put on a show bigger than what I can put on, right? Like, a big thing everybody goes is like, bro, when are you going to get to a bigger venue, right? And I'm like, when we sell that bitch out packed 3 in a row, right? Because first time's a fluke, second time's 3 times is, oh shit, we need a new venue. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, fuck, dude, who wouldn't want to be doing a Harpo show, right? Like, you know what I mean? But like, if you're not packing it, that's a lot of money off rip just to get a building.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
Heard it right here, GCW. Jeremiah Goldmain's coming for you.
No, like,
No.
no.
I'll help you out.
You're a fucking idiot.
No.
I know.
Never. I love those guys. They have an amazing product. They have a top indie product. Like, they're about to not be an indie. That's how good their product is. Because like, they've figured out, they've mashed the indie and the not indie world through amazing storylines and just good booking. Like, if we're gonna be real, you know what I mean? No, never. But like, bro, I'd love to do the Fox Theater. Who the fuck's done wrestling at the Fox Theater? And they got nothing going on. Like, but like, you got to get there first. And like, our way of getting there is just by doing what we do. Put it on a fun fucking show, getting drunk, smoking weed in the parking lot with Darren McCarty, and like, partying.
Fucking best moment of my life was just walking up to him and go like, sir, I want you to know that I had your plaque in my basement as a child, and I love you, and you're like the and him just being like, oh, thanks, man, and everything. He's like, you want to smoke weed with me? I was like, Darren McCarty, that is the dumbest question you've ever asked a human being in your life. Of course I do.
I'm not going to mention, okay, so there's another instance where Clint was smoking weed with somebody in the parking lot. I'm not going to mention one person. The other person happens to currently be an NXT superstar. The funny thing was, leading up to this event, so we went to the Diamondback for an Impact event, pre-pandemic.
Fuck, and yeah.
We're standing outside, and we're at the front of the line, and this was shortly after, was this 2 years after I was out of school?
Yeah.
It was like 2 years after I was out of school, and I literally see the trainer walk past, and I see 2 people, and I've got my sunglasses on, my head pulled down, and my hood up, and I look like a fucking narc.
I'm fine with that photo because you look like a fuck. Like, you look. So, hey, I look like where's the marijuana at? Is what you look like.
I wear that, and I was like, "That's cool, man. We'll get inside. We'll blend in." They sit us down because they kind of like they were like, "Oh yeah, you guys can go down onto the main floor." And I was like thinking, "Oh yeah, no problem. No, we won't have any issue." We're the first 2 fucking seats, camera side, right at the entrance ramp, and I'm sitting there going, "If fucking Truth sees me, he knows it's fucking me. So I'm done for. I'm never coming to anything."
I got it. Because this photo means a lot to me because I got to pick Sammy Callahan up while holding a beer, and there's fucking Narcass right behind me.
That's, oh man, like,
I looked at his wife when we got home. I was like, I'm never taking him to a wrestling show again.
Like I thought only blind people had access to those glasses. Like,
senior citizens.
Yeah, like they were like the when you get your eyes dilated and like you don't want any light because like oh
Blind people
man.
and Bret Hart. That's it. I punched some old guy in the parking lot. It was nighttime. He had no idea.
Oh, hold on, I got a better image. I didn't know I had this one.
Which one's this one? I'm intrigued.
Fuck.
Oh my god!
Is that Abe Lincoln?
Okay. Oh my god!
You look like you're not allowed within 500 feet of a school or a Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, I am. For what it's worth, not that I want to be within 500 feet of a Chuck E. Cheese.
Hey, Opie, I love you.
You have chocolate bars.
I want some chocolate. I'm high
Yeah.
as fuck right now.
But like speaking of it, that's some of the most fun we've had at a wrestling event. And to be honest, it wasn't a good show, but it was fun because we got to see people that normally aren't on television put their all into the match.
Well, I think the main event was like Rhino versus who was it was Rhino versus Sammy Callahan.
Look, let me tell you what. Anytime that it's Brian Cage versus Michael Elgin on a card, I checked out mentally in that match. It's not my type of wrestling. I'm just not there for it.
It was funny how we were almost got sent out of the arena to go buy Famous Bowls.
Yeah, we did. We almost did.
I chirped fucking Ace Austin because we didn't like him at the time. And fucking what's his name? He's in NXT right now. He was a part of MSK. Wesley is his name now. But he heard us. I was like, hey, Austin, have your mother add some more money to my card so I can get some more KFC. And then fucking Wesley goes like, hold on. I haven't had a Famous Bowl in for breaks match to go. I have not had a Famous Bowl in forever. Can you guys go get me one?
I don't think I ever heard that.
We're literally like 4 miles away from the nearest KFC down Rawsonville.
Mm-hmm. There's a Wendy's KFC on the way to Diamondback. Not Wendy's KFC, Taco Bell KFC.
Oh, I forgot Impact was actually a show. I just see highlights from it.
So good.
No, man. I love Impact. Like, I don't know. I've been an Impact
Josh Alexander is a phenomenal champion.
For like ever. Like, so like they're a company like that like does a lot of just throws ideas at the wall type shit, right? And like gives it a moment. It's not just like, oh, this ain't taking off. Let's throw it away because like not all great ideas are instant fire. Like, how many of your favorite shows you have to go, no, you got to get to episode 3 and then it's like the best, right?
That's why I have my 3-episode rule. If it doesn't catch me by the 3rd episode, I'm out.
And like they give shit time. Like it's, I don't know, I like it. They have a lot of up and coming talent. Shout out Shogun, Jason Hotch, Jack Price, the Gut Check Boys, as I think Impact's calling them on TV. Like, they're amazing. There's a FU match you can find on YouTube. Jason Hotch versus Jack Price. Like, it's probably match of the year in the state of Michigan. Like, it was phenomenal. Like, it involves The Rock and Randy Orton. So it makes sense if you watch it. And like there's a smoke break in the match. It has everything you want in wrestling.
Well, it's not like that it's bad wrestling or whatnot. It's just that I forget that they have a TV deal.
Well, yeah, who has Access TV?
Right.
Like
I do. My roommate told me when I moved in, I pay for all the channels.
When I got my cable, I specifically got access to make sure I got like I have AT&T because I wanted access to watch Impact, but it's neither here nor there.
I don't see that as a problem. I love the Impact Women's Division.
No, but like my whole thing about wrestling is there's not enough people going to indie shows. People just kind of stick to the 2 big ones, the AEW and the WWE, and that's unfortunate because I feel like people aren't getting more culture when it comes to the wrestling. If it's not one of those 2 shows, they just don't give a shit.
They don't know it exists. Like, so like I can't even lie, right? Like I've been doing the indie scene like 4 or 5 years. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm high. Like, I think 4. But like, I didn't know much about the indies though. Like, to me, the indies were Ring of Honor and stuff like that, right? Like, and that's not really the indies. Like, it is, but isn't, right? Like,
Mhm.
so like I didn't know wrestling was happening right around the corner, right? Like if I would have known that in high school, the shit, man, I probably would have started way younger. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
No, like I didn't really know much about indie wrestling until Evolve really got into the mainstream around 2016 in PWG. My friend I worked at Best Buy with, he gave me a couple PWG tapes, and he was just like, "Watch these; these are great." And that was my first experience with people like Pete Dunne and Ricochet and the Young Bucks. That was my first experience. Was the Young Bucks? Was
Mount
in
Rushmore,
PWG.
man.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore was great. Fucking my favorite PWG match of all time will still be when Candice LeRae beat the Young Bucks in a 2-on-1 guerrilla warfare match. Won the tag titles all by herself. I have no idea how she did it. She was one badass chick.
Because she's a
She is.
badass mother.
And
You can find that Jack Price Jason Hotch video on our Twitter feed right now.
yes,
It's
thank
really
you.
good. Like it was
Well, but,
amazing.
I mean, you know what, man? Any place that isn't running arena shows, they were running the Knights of Columbus Hall. That place holds 200 people. That's an indie. Just because they were able to get more exposure online and shit doesn't make them any less indie than that. They're still fucking playing to 200 people and struggling to sell out those shows to the point where they're getting people like Walter versus Timothy Thatcher for their main events, which fucked real big meaty men slapping meat.
I have two questions, but they kind of fall into each other a little bit. So, what was your inspiration to get into wrestling? What inspired Jeremiah to enter wrestling?
Man, I've loved wrestling since I was like a wee tyke. Like my mom got me into it. Like my earliest memories is the Lex Brett double a limb Royal Rumble. Like she's with some dude doing whorish things. I'm watching wrestling tape from Blockbuster because it's her weekend with me. Woo.
Mhm.
And I'm wrestling. This is amazing. And then I got into it on my own. It's the Monday Night Wars. I'm a WCW guy at this point because the cruiserweights, because I'm little, right? I'm these guys are my size kind of on TV. Yeah, we can do it. And then Chris Jericho happened. It was a Saturday night, not main event, but the Saturday night WCW show.
Mm-hmm.
He beat some dude with a drop kick off the top rope. And I'm this guy's amazing. And then he just started doing character work. And he was beating all the other cruiserweights and taking their stuff. And then he was taking masks. And then he was picking on Dean Malenko. And I'm this guy is amazing. He's not as good as Dean Malenko, right? But he's better than Dean Malenko, and he's telling me he's better, so he must be better. And that's when I learned about ego too, and developed probably a lot of me. I was you don't gotta be the best; you just can tell people you're the best, and eventually you're the best.
So,
just how it works.
You bring up Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko was my favorite growing up. I loved his technical wrestling shit.
He was fantastic. He made technical wrestling the American audience has never super been huge on the technical wrestling, right? We're an entertainment based wrestling. If you were to judge the wrestlings of the world, right? Lucha is fast paced, high flying, integral movements. It's like a dance, if you will, right?
Mm-hmm.
European style is submissions with cool counters, but it's wrestling, and it's also gritty, strong style. And then Japanese is just hard hitting, raw. You know what I mean? But we're entertainment. We're a spectacle. It's a show. That's what the U.S. wrestling style is. It's larger than life. It's Godzilla versus King Kong with RoboCop. Yeah, I don't remember where I was going, but yeah, wrestling.
But yeah, this year Dean Malenko, he got shouted out. Yeah.
Dean was fucking fantastic because he did the technical, but he was able to do it in a way that he could get the American audience for 15 minutes to be whoa.
The man of
like,
1,000 holds, man.
He is.
Like his placement on the card, right? Like, because like around that time, it's WCW, the NWO's huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not doing wrestling. They're doing American wrestling. It's all entertainment. It's two sweets beating up people and shit. So like he's the only 15 minutes you're getting a week of like kick-ass wrestling. But he was top notch with it. If he wasn't top notch, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah,
I love Canadian Dean Malenko, Lance Storm.
You said Jericho, and the first moment where I can really pin down that I fell in love with wrestling, it was that moment when Juventud jumped out of the Battle Royal and Dean Malenko was there all geared up, and Jericho's coming out to do the Cruiserweight title match with the winner of that Battle Royal, and it's fucking Dean Malenko. He unmasked. That crowd comes unglued after all the shit talking Jericho did for 2 months, and he wins the it was perfect.
So good. So good. One of the greatest stories of Dean's like career.
He had a moment this year where it was what's his name? He's married to Jordan Grace. Jonathan Gresham. He had that moment where he was like, I don't want to lose to anyone beneath me in the PWI top 10. And then someone commented, he was just like, Dean Malenko was number 1 in 1997 and was Cruiserweight champion. And then Dean responded with, fuck, I was number 1? I don't pay attention to that shit. And I was like, that's why I love Dean. He just wanted to go out there and be the best every single week. Him, I know it's taboo to bring him up, but Benoit back in the day, just those guys, the Jerichos, the fucking Mysterios, the Guerreros, the Juventud, Psychosis, all those guys, they were the best 15 minutes of TV each and every week.
What is one match like? So we do a lot of offering of suggestions for our crowd to watch because we have people that watch us just like Taylor, people like that. They watch us because I don't know, they like us or something.
I guess for fun.
Yeah, something like that. And so we like to offer suggestions for people to watch matches. What is a match that you would recommend to somebody?
Oh, man, that's like. What's the premise, right? Like, am I trying to get them to like be a fan forever? Am I trying to get them to laugh? Like, what, you know? Because there's so much wrestling.
What is a match that would make somebody understand the 24 karat lion better?
Oh man, that's the fuck, man.
And it could be one of your own. That's the cool thing about it. Ooh, I feel like I'm stumped. This is fantastic.
Well, no, that's a good question. I've never been asked that. Like, it's usually who got you in Raw, who are your inspirations. That's a good question, man. A match that could get you to understand my style, like me. So like the Andy Kaufman run.
Oh God!
Yes.
All right, like
yes.
That is probably one of the biggest inspirations for just me in wrestling, like, because like this run was fantastic because it wasn't just at a show, it surpassed that. You know what I mean? Like, people thought these two hated each other and were gonna kill each other. Jerry the King Lawler, by the way, if you're wondering who I'm talking about, and the great late Andy Kaufman. Like, yes, the real one, the man on the moon guy, the act. I know you guys know, but people at home.
Yeah.
It's it's so like Andy decides that I'm done being an actor, right? Or I'm not done, but I can do more because I'm Andy Kaufman, and fuck you, I just snorted a line of cocaine, I'm amazing. And just decides I'm gonna be the greatest wrestler of all time. But because Andy is such a good human being, right, and a feminist, if you will, before his time, he's only competing against women, right? And like some of the women, like it's one of the greatest runs, right? Because like he's beating woman after woman. Like some of them are like your big Bertha women, some of them are tiny. It's all shapes and sizes of women, right? But he's beating them. He's getting his butt kicked, and then he's cheating to win, if you will. Like, that's what some would say. I'm not some, but some would say that. And like finally, like around like I think it's like win 50. This starts going to my man's head. And so now he thinks he's the greatest wrestler ever, period. No asterisks for gender. We don't need that now. And then Jerry the King Lawler hears this, and then it just becomes a thing. And Jerry the King Lawler breaks his. Like, the best part of this whole thing is not even the wrestling. Like, they're live on, I think it was Letterman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, like, they just get
Like
into it.
something
Like,
that.
for real. But, like, Andy
Carson.
Kaufman, right? Entertainer, one of the greatest wrestlers of his time. Like, people around that era know that more than some of, like, the wrestling that was happening, because that it transcended more than just one thing. It took over pop culture. It's definitely a watch.
That was really the first thing to do that, to move that past that niche market since like the Gotch days, when wrestling was the market. The movie market wasn't there. Wrestling was really bigger than the movies at that point. That was the next thing. So you had a 55, 60 year gap in between things moving towards that. Kaufman and Lawler have a lot, like, as much as I'm not a huge fan of Jerry Lawler, there's a lot of credit to be said to what wrestling is today, to that exact program.
If you go down south, like everybody always says it and you don't believe it, right? Like, I've been down in, like, Tennessee, Kentucky, right? Lawler's a god down there, right? Like, you go to Carolina, Ric Flair, like, in Charlotte, it's either you're one way or the other. There's no middle ground with him. They either you love him or you hate him, right? And if you hate him, it's because you live somewhere.
Thank you.
You can do Friends. Yeah, Friends is cool. What was I gonna say? Like, they either love or hate him, right? Because if they love him, it's because it's Ric Flair. He's famous and he represents us. And if they hate him, it's because, like, you go somewhere where he frequents, and, like, he'll go to a 5-star restaurant in gym clothes because he's Ric Flair. Dog, who cares? This is a nature boy. Woo! Right? And they'll be like, he's such a jerk. And it's like, well, no, he's Ric Flair. Like, he's got shit to do, man. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the limousine riding, jet flying, wheeling. Son of a gun. Yeah, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun.
The profiling, jet flying, wheeling, dealing, jet flying, kiss stealing, son of a gun. It's the
I'm having a hard time keeping these gators down.
I'm just gonna say this for the record: the
longest ride.
The WWE Hall of Fame is a joke until Andy Kaufman is in it. That is it.
Valid.
And Jerry has to.
I know.
Jerry has to induct him. That has to be the thing. Like,
I understand WWE's reasonings for not putting China in the Hall of Fame separately. I get it. I get what they're trying to do.
That's gonna change, man. No,
it's gonna change. That's gonna change. I see her being the woman inductee this year.
Like, I got into a weird thing. Like, I feel like a lot of indie guys do this, where, like, for a bit you stop watching, like, the TV. But, like, for me, man, like, I've been a fan of wrestling for, like, ever, and, like, it was getting bad there for the past couple of years, like, TV wrestling. Like, it was getting rough.
We know.
And, like, since the Vince stuff, and now we have the Triple H era of wrestling, I don't know. I didn't think you'd be able to change a company in, like, 2 months, right? Like, it's a $1 billion business, and how are you going to do that in 2 months? But in, like, 2 months, the WWE is, like, it's watchable. It's really good. I don't know, man. Like, the Sami Zayn shit's amazing. Like, the Jimmy and Jay, like, the the whole shit, the whole product's fantastic right now.
I think a lot of that is when you let people, and this is something that your product does well, when you let people be themselves, when you give people the power, you end up with a better product. You're not trying to force them to be something they aren't. You're allowing the creative juices to flow.
Like, I see your character you're doing, and I love this character, right? And it's amazing. Now come to my company and let me completely change your character and be this thing and do this and act this way. And Rod, it's like, what did you even like about me? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It makes no sense.
So I just read a comment on here, and I'd like to bring that up. It's Reed saying NXT isn't fully there yet. NXT show this week, awesome.
Mint.
So like
It
my
was.
problem, right? Like with people who want to give like NXT like doo-doo, like is I like yes, NXT black and gold, like the old black and gold was
My
amazing,
favorite.
right?
My
But
favorite.
like the problem is it got to that level because they started turning it into a TV show that was getting over, right? Like the whole point
Yeah.
of NXT is it's a developmental. It's
Mhm.
not like supposed to be a competing third brand of this billion-dollar company. It's supposed to help get guys to get to those two brands of this billion-dollar company.
Yeah, and it was kind of that like right after it changed from FCW, and they switched it over to NXT.
Like you get Big E with the 5 count rule because it's Big fucking E. Big E Langston. Sorry, he had a name then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Like you got Tyler Black. Like bro, it's I don't know.
No, fucking NXT was a developmental product, and then it got so big, and like these guys were enjoying their contracts where they had the freedom to do shit. They had to work 5 Saturdays a year, and then record TV, and then they eventually had to do live TV every week. They were living the dream with that shit.
Amazing.
And I don't blame any of them for just going like, "Hey, we want to bring you up to the main roster." I'm good.
Oh yeah, no, I don't blame it at all. Like but like so for people to be mad at the NXT, right? Like it's so like Vince got his hands into it, right? Like made it to 2.0. And 2.0, what like I wouldn't even say it was bad, it was different, right? And like if you like the first 2 weeks of you changing my fries at Burger King, right? Like even if I like the new fries, change.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to be happy, right? But like after a minute, I don't know, Braun Breaker's good. They got good people. They're developing them.
Yeah.
Like you obviously can't be like connected to somebody for 5 years if they've only existed for less than one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and most people like that's you get connections with guys because you start watching them for years, right? Like, and like with the indies and all that, you watch them from their rookie days into the pro days and stuff like that. Like people just got to quit hating and give it time, man. Braun Breaker's a star. That guy's fantastic. Like
Ilya Dragunov should be the champion walking out of Saturday. Anyone besides JD Vic don't Google me was so good. That line fucking broke me so hard on Tuesday.
The women wrestlers down in NXT right now are amazing.
I was
Jade
about
is
to mention
great.
that.
Roxanne Perez is a fucking star.
The Toxic Attraction is top tier talent.
Tony's gonna turn the camera off and go away for a little bit.
What is it? Nikita Lyons, there's like they're hot thing, but like
they're amazing in the ring though.
They're actually really talented and low key, like the future of like the women's wrestling, if you will. But like it's just wrestling, like, and they're good. They got it. They understand the character work. They understand the in ring. Like they're good.
They're good.
Roxanne Perez is 20. We're going to get another 15 to 20 years of Roxanne Perez, and look at where she's at in her game right now. She is fantastic, and she is the future of the women's division, and it's awesome to see.
We can't escape Toxic Attraction. We open I know you like we have YouTube series where we just keep opening packs of cards. We found the WWE Select cards, so we've been opening those. We have fucking stacks on stacks of NXT cards.
Speaking of which, we buy them at actually somebody that is involved with your group as well, A to Z Comics.
A to Z. A to Z is amazing.
Yep,
Go there
blesses
for all
our
your
packs. Blesses our
Go there
packs.
for all your nerdy comical needs, pops, cards.
Go there for your cards, man. We are pulling exclusive cards like fucking crazy from that place.
JC Jane auto.
We got that fucking Walter 1 of 1. I looked up how much it's going for. These 1 of 1s are going for like $300 fucking dollars.
I know. We need to get. We're going to find a way to get one of those hobby boxes.
And who's your favorite WWE wrestler? Because we probably have him in this box.
WWE wrestler, active right man. It's probably Seth Rollins. Like he's also my pick actively for like best wrestler right now in the world.
Just the character, dude. I love the character work of the Seth freaking with
the whole thing is like the whole presentation's good. Like he hasn't been in a bad feud all year. Like you
The
can give
losses
him.
don't hurt him.
Hey,
Say
Moochie.
again?
The losses don't hurt him. You
No,
know how
like
hard it is to maintain momentum and lose all the fucking time?
Is he a heel?
Amazing.
Is he a face? I don't know. Like it's just Seth freaking Rollins, dog, and he's killing it. Like I'm a man who likes nice fashion. My man has good, like, bro. I don't know.
Our
He's
friend
killing
loses
it.
his fucking mind every time he comes out to the ring.
So Seth Rollins made a comment about his feud with Cody Rhodes, and he's like, after Cody's injury and then working through his injury, it basically rose Seth Rollins up as a good worker, as somebody who's not going to injure you past anything. Like, he's a safe worker. That's what I was looking for.
He's so good. Like he's safe. He's top tier. He understands. He gets all of it, right? Like so, like the big thing that makes like the indies better than the big leagues, right? If you will, is like we're more fan interactive, right? Because we can get out in the crowd with you. We can we'll address you if you say something while we're talking, right? Like we might stop whatever we were saying just to address you. Right? Like, oh, you want to heckle? Cool. Let's make it about you. Right?
Yeah.
He's the closest thing I feel like you get on television to someone who interacts like that.
I have
Right,
this for you.
Right?
I'm
Like he's
bringing it
not
to the show on the-
McIntyring where he's, oh, that's hot. That
I'm bringing that
jacket's
to you.
fire.
Oh,
Look at
dude,
that.
Dude,
he's got
Look at that
good
jacket.
days.
Right? Like it's not like a McIntyre
I-
1, 2, or 3, 2, 1, right? Cliche. No, he just, I don't know. He gets it. He's operating on another level right now.
I'm good, Moochie. How are you doing tonight, hon? Just
yeah,
wants to know
no.
how everyone's doing.
Fantastic.
Ant-Man is doing
I'm really
good.
glad you came on. This has been a blast so far, man.
I don't
fucking
even care
enjoyed
that.
it.
I have a question before we roll into what usually our podcast used to be about, which is AEW. One guy that hasn't graced the presence of an FU ring. What's your target for an indie wrestler that hasn't? It could be up and coming, could be legendary. Been around a while.
Dog, there's that's, man, there's a lot, right? FU, we're a little bit different. Some people that are on my actual want list that I'll share because I don't think any other promoter will jack these ideas, right? Like I want the Walmart guys. The dude's name's Lord. The dude's name's Lord Adrian. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram. He actually wrestles too. He's a rapper and a wrestler because of course he is. And he's amazing. And listen, people were mad that those guys got over, but I wasn't gonna do a Canadian destroyer in Walmart. He was. So
every time I see those videos, I'm like, oh, like the dude who takes the code red every time.
it's so good.
Oh, it looks like it hurts so fucking bad.
That's a legit person I want to bring in because he's a real wrestler too. It's not like a yarder. He's trained. Guy's trained. He's real. I feel like that would be some good entertainment. But on some more serious note stuff, I want to bring in the what is it? The SAT from ROH. They invented the Spanish fly.
Oh, okay.
Right? Some pioneers, some people you haven't seen in Michigan before. Because that's the thing too, right? We have a lot of wrestling in Michigan on the indie scene. We're a blessed state, if you will. There's a lot of promotions and everybody's got to bring in people.
You're not lying about that. You know what's crazy about that?
Drugs Bunny. If you don't know who that is, another person, look it up.
Is he like the
love
Grim
to bring
Reaper?
in Drugs Bunny. That's a Hood Slam original.
Okay.
Can I bring up something? It's so, and I'm gonna date myself on this. So 5 years ago, I went through wrestling school, right? That blew my knees out afterwards at a beer league hockey game because that's an intelligent thing to do. It amazes me that 3 of us made it through that class. 3 of us, and I'm like, it's not. And this is not to take anything away from it because it's a physically demanding thing. But there's a mental wall that you have to break. I'm so amazed that there's not more people that do this on the level of actual thespian that you have to be to go through that is amazing. And there's so many good actors out there that with a little bit of physical work you can just, man, it's there's so many people. There's so many people that I wish would have made it through.
Don't
And-
worry, brother. He's Ginger Val Kilmer. Oh no,
Well,
this motherfucker.
I get Tiger King all the time. I don't know. I like it. It don't bother me. Like
I have a question for you because I asked you on Instagram. Can you throw this dick face in the Rumble?
maybe it all like it's. I still haven't actually done like what I was supposed to do and validate everything on my list yet.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'd be willing
if I do have an opening,
I'd be willing to take a Drew Carey spot.
if I do have an opening, what would your theme be?
Like, are we talking like a theme song?
Well,
Or
yeah, if you're entering a Rumble, you got to have
It's
music.
Maven's theme.
Like,
It's Maven's
God,
theme. 100%. It's Maven's
Okay.
theme.
That's our
Okay.
show theme. Our show theme is
Okay.
Maven's theme. You can even put me on ring name, Jensen Collins. That's what
Word.
it was.
And if you
Who-
like,
who was in your class, by the way?
So I don't know if anybody left. Oh, Isaiah Bronner.
Oh man, he's so good. I love that guy.
So I watched something and somebody goes, "Oh, I don't think that hit was real." I can tell you for certain there's a set of lockers that are on what would be the east side of the building. There's a set of lockers there. And the first day that we're taking shoot forearms, they're coming through. There's a kid next to me, Ali. He takes one. He made it through the class too. I wish I knew what he was doing. He gets hit. This kid flies out of the ring. I get hit. I kind of roll out of the ring. Some like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches taller than him, about 50 pounds on him. I feel like I just got hit by a truck. Isaiah takes this thing, and I'm talking full force from Paul Bowser, straight up just rocks him with it. And he just goes,
Yep.
"What else you got?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious right now?"
Man, I pissed off Isaiah once. Like he was like it was back when like he was big in like Michigan, like here more like 2-3 years ago. And like I don't know, I like to have fun. So like I mocked him and DTA a little bit because like fuck it.
Did you piss off
Why not?
DTA more or him?
No, I mocked all of them. Like I got a dude that kind of looked like all of them combined. And like he knew all of their stuff. So like I made a dude that was like it combined all their names and all of this and all their little like monikers, except we one-upped them. So he was like the 8 Mile Destroyer, the White Diamond, like all their names were all mixed up and mashed. Like he had one super cool name, and like he knew all of their stuffs because like he's watched them for like years, and it was great. And they didn't think it was as funny as we did, and like they were not happy about it. And then they stormed the ring and assaulted me. And like Isaiah's scary when he's yelling at you. Also, just don't say the word bitch around him because I did not call him a bitch. I said he was acting like a bitch. Right?
Oh, yeah. I said you were acting like this.
And like that's a very like I need people to understand like that's a very big difference, right? Like no, like I would never call a guy who can like bench press a house a bitch, right? But like sometimes you can act like a bitch, right? Like when you're crying, oh, you made fun of me, right? Like that's like get over it. Don't be a bitch.
So we did it. We had a sprint that happened outside. They were like, "We're gonna go into the alley and sprint," and I was like, "All right, bet, let's do it." And the literal only thing I had was speed, and I was like, "So I booked it, and I beat him, and I got to the end, and he goes, "That speed ain't gonna help you inside the ropes," and I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm just gonna keep running and hope you get tired, but I feel like your cardio is better than mine. I'm gonna get my ass kicked at some point."
Man, I ran away from him, right? Like I ran away. And then like he chased me and I was good, right? Like that speed is amazing. Like he's a liar. Speed is amazing until there's a wall.
Oh yeah.
That's when speed doesn't work. Right? Like until there's a wall, you can run forever. Like it's fantastic.
So
once there's a wall though, and the only way back is like past them, like he's really quick within like a 10-foot, like he's got Megatron like span of length of arms. Like you can't get by him.
The man is explosive. I think that's the best way to do it. So he used to do that running power slam that Braun Strowman did. I don't know if he still does it. So he did that during like a practice match thing. And it wasn't an intent thing, but man, when you're just like the velocity that you hit with, I'm like, just pin me. Let's finish it off. We're good. The whole way that I actually found out about that school is I worked my day job at the time. I worked with Jay Abrams. So that's how I found out about the school. That's how I ended up there. He was supposed to go with me, didn't happen, and it was just at the time his girlfriend was whatever. So, but yeah, he hits like a Mack truck.
He can bench press like 800 pounds. Like I don't like don't quote me on that. It might be off by like 50. It might be 850. Like the dude's strong. Like for real.
He came back from an Achilles injury in like 5.5 months. Something that keeps most people out for 9. It's fucking sick.
Yeah. No, like he's not normal, like, but like in a good way, right?
Impressive.
Built different.
Built different.
God damn it, Kevin.
Built different. Fuck, this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun, guys.
Clint, I'm gonna step out for a second.
Step out for a second? Okay. Jeremiah, I've really appreciated having you on here.
No worries, man. Like
we've eaten up a lot of your time. My apologies.
Nah, it's only been like an hour, 26 minutes. There's a timer. I saw it.
Oh, fuck. I've been running this shit for like a year. I forget half the shit that's here. I do have, while Ethan's gone, we were talking about Coke earlier, and I made a mistake the other day in our group chat. Because someone said Tony Khan, like the typical shit. Tony Khan looks like he's booking on Coke. So enjoy. Don't do this.
We don't do video calls on Tuesday, Trevor. We do them on excuse me. We do them on Thursday, Trevor. That's why you got to join us live. Thursdays, 9 p.m. on UPN.
That was a horrible idea. I was picking flour out of my fucking nose for hours.
Is UPN even around anymore?
No, that's why we're on UPN.
Okay.
I got stoned one night and said that, and it's been one of our sign-off tags sent.
I love it. That's amazing. UPN was great.
Yeah, we're essentially down to a clip show now because Ethan just says so much stupid shit that I just have to hit him with our clips. And I don't know, we just are like, you were like, derailing. That's us every week. Everyone like sits in the chat and redeems points to get us more fucked up. Last week we were fighting about which flavor of Pop-Tart was the best and what's better, Mike and Ike's or Hot Tamales.
Mike and Ike's.
Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone!
Fuck you! I just went and refilled the Great Lakes. I feel great.
Like that's legit. What was the other one?
What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor?
Oh, like that, like so like if you're going like classic stuff, like it's got to be the cinnamon brown sugar, right?
Fuck yeah!
But like if we're like if we're allowed to like modern day, like that Fruit Loop shit hits so hard.
I hate everyone. I can't get anyone on my goddamn side. This is bullshit.
I hope your fan keeps oscillating.
Dude,
like I don't. What do you think is the superior? Like
Blueberry.
what?
Blueberry.
With or without frosting?
Frosting, of course.
Okay. At least you're not a monster.
No,
like,
I'm not a piece of shit.
Why would the Pop-Tarts that are in my grandma's cabinet be the best one? Yes, Mr. Cooper, the maple brown sugar ones. Yeah. They're fire.
Like, when you were just like, yeah, we could talk about fast food all day. I was sitting here telling Ethan the other day at his house, I was like, we need to sit down and do a tier list ranking fast food franchises. It's a question we ask everyone, but everyone's just going to be pissed off when I put Burger King in S tier because Burger King is fucking amazing.
Well, it's like Taco Bell's like the one, right? Like even if like you don't like them, you like them. Like they don't have to
be drunk.
They've mastered like 5 ingredients and like 8 different presentations.
Wendy's chicken nuggets are the best.
Taco Bell is the girl that you go back to that isn't good for you, but you're just going to keep going back to her because she's convenient.
And like she has nacho fries like 3 times a year. Like,
hey, baby, open up nacho fries.
Like that's what I was like. All right, so like the Mexican pizza thing, right? Like my grandma ate those my whole life, and I was like, I don't understand how they keep selling these because you're the only person I've ever seen eat a Mexican pizza my whole life. And then they get rid of them, and apparently the whole world ate Mexican pizzas.
My ex That was her required drunk food for 4 years. Was a Mexican pizza from Taco Bell.
Like for real? Like
For real.
Like before? Like yeah, no,
Before
that had
all
to
of
be.
it. This was
that
like
had
I
to be
dated her
before.
like 10 years ago.
Like
Fuck, that was almost 10.
who? I didn't even know
Holy
people
shit,
ate
it
those.
was.
It's crazy. They've mastered just like hyping food, right? Like McDonald's is getting good.
McDonald's
Like-
fries are unmatched.
Yo,
Well, like-
the J Balvin meal was fucking fire.
The J Belvin, the BTS meal, like McDonald's has figured out how to like make fast food cool. Like they just did the toys,
Mm-hmm.
like the adult Happy Meals. Those were sweet.
Yeah, those were fucking killer. I haven't gotten one yet, but
I got 2. I got lucky. I didn't get repeats. I got a Grimace and the Sackboy thing. I think his name's like Cactus Buddy is what they called it.
mm-hmm.
Like that. Like for me, I thought it was weird marketing though, because I'm like the crowd you're hitting is like the 28 to like 45 range, right? For like nostalgia of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed marketed for like the 25 and down range. I don't know. That's just
man.
stuff I think about when I'm high. I'm like,
These are the only toys I collect anymore. These stupid figures.
they only got see like I hit the point in life where like it has to be chase, right? Like if I wear shoes, like I can't like if you can buy a pair of shoes at like Foot Locker, I won't wear it. Like if I can't get it up, I don't want it.
Oh man,
Like,
I
it's
was
got to be like some rarity level
Tony,
to it.
I got a pair of shoes for him. I'm gonna grab them. They're in the other room.
all right. Checkered Vans were it for me for like 10 years until my chiropractor said, "Hey, you're 32. Get some fucking shoes with some arch support in them."
Oh dog, I can't like I hate like so like I love Jordan 1s, right? But they're the most uncomfortable shoe flat.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I don't skateboard, but like I feel like those would be good for skateboarding because like they're flat like skateboarding shoes.
Yep.
They just don't have a checker pattern.
Well,
No.
some skateboarding shoes had like this thick cushion because you figure you're jumping like 8-10 feet in the air landing.
Yeah.
You need the cushion.
What were they fucking called? LT, are you here? You still wear those shoes? DCs? DCs were some big fucking shoes.
DCs, Etnies.
DCs have the greatest house shoe. Like they're like a slipper shoe, but like they're a real shoe. I think like people wear them out of the house, but like I always like to get a pair. They're like $50 and they're like house shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have two pairs here. One, this is gonna hit home with at least 3 of us. Jeremiah, I'm not sure if it does for you. The PF Flying.
Bro, pause. Like if you have an important thing to do, like outrun a giant dog for the fucking sake of your backyard fucking baseball field. Yeah, of course I know what the fucking PF is. What the fuck? Dog,
They
like,
make you
what?
run higher or run farther or run faster and jump farther. Some shit. Who gives a shit? Those are not the shoes that I thought. Those actually, you literally can't wear them. They're disintegrating right now.
Those are amazing.
but
Those would be
these
so happy.
Tony and I bought these at a mall in Toledo like fucking 12 years ago or something. I have the X-Men Vans.
Oh, those are sweet.
Which are a limited run. You got villains on one side, heroes on the other. So
Oh yeah, I do remember.
I don't know how you guys can buy shoes just to display them. I would wear the fuck out of those.
I did wear them. Here's the problem. I'm an old man and I need arch support, and therefore I wear New Balances or work boots.
No, you're
Yep,
a dad. That's why you
absolutely.
wear New Balances.
Yeah, but not white ones.
Bro, New Balances are like in. Like
Mhm.
I got a
I
pair
don't
of-
like I didn't realize this till like I became a sneakerhead. Like New Balances are fire. Like I don't own any because like I'm not a dad. But like
Hey, you know.
they're fucking fire, apparently. Like there's some of them that are reselling 500 easy. Like it's crazy.
Yo, hit me up with them white 468s, baby.
I miss my Jack Skellington Chuck Taylors from high school that I wore for 5 straight years. Because it took me
Man.
5 years to finish high school.
That's fair. Like hard it's not easy. Like
It wasn't.
they expect you to do stuff, like, but that's why I go here.
Years
I mean,
of
I
War
don't know.
came out. Years of War came out my sophomore year and ruined my fucking life. That's what happened. I was horrible at education, but I was really fucking good at Years of War.
Did you graduate the year before us or after us? Or
I graduated in
with us?
08.
Oh, then the year before us. Okay.
Like I don't know, like high school's weird, right? Like as an adult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have to talk to like other people's kids about like school and shit, because like that happens as an adult once your other adult friends have kids, and like you have to be an adult sometimes, and it sucks. But like it's like high school is the weird thing to talk about, right? Because like I think high school is a waste of time. I think it's an obedience training tool, right? Like when this bell rings, you will move to here, you'll sit, you'll stand. You know what I mean? You can't even call people by their name. You have to call them Miss last name type shit. Like, and nothing I've learned in high school, like these are all my views, not on a forklift podcast, by the way.
My views.
Right. Right, like nothing I've learned in high school has like actually done me anything, right? Like minus like simple math from like first grade. Like I don't figure out the square root of shit to do anything in my daily life. Had you maybe taught me to change a tire and do my taxes, I would have learned or a resume. Fuck,
Yep.
That's what they should teach you. A goddamn resume, because that will change your life. Once you have a resume in a JPEG format saved on your phone, you're unstoppable.
Yep. Okay.
I think Tony and I can agree. We only had one teacher in high school that we learned anything from that we kept going on, right?
My history teacher.
Most of the shit I learned from the teachers that taught me stuff had nothing to do with the class they were teaching me either. It was like a real life lesson-y type shit where it's like, oh man, usually when they're being like an adult and they're like, yeah, man, chill. Like when you catch them smoking a cigarette, they can be real for a minute. Like,
my
I
school
don't know,
had like my school had what Reed's talking about. It had what they called VOTEC, where if your grades were good enough, which mine weren't, they would let you go to an actual job skills school to learn for 3 hours a day. That's how my brother, like, I don't really like to talk about my brother's personal life, but he did the VOTEC thing. I did mechanicking, and now he can work on cars. Now that's his career, is cars.
That's useful, but like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like most people get that. Like, I don't feel like I've never heard of that.
But
like
I got the JRTC program, and I got out of high school, and they were like, yeah, you have flat feet and you're deaf in your left ear. We can't take you in the military. I was like, cool, I learned nothing in high school. This is awesome.
Explains why you don't listen to me.
We had a improv comedy class, like as an elective, and I was like, my 9th grade year, I was like, man, I have to get that. And you can only take it once, so I didn't even put the math in my head that like, oh, if you take it 9th grade, you have 3 more years where you're not going to have a fun class to like fall back on. But fuck it, I got it my first fucking semester. Yeah, improv.
Mm-hmm.
But like that was it. Like it wasn't, and like
It's benefiting you now.
Well, yeah, it helps me a little bit, right? But like, I don't know. Like it was weird. Like nothing's really that important from high school. It's a waste.
You know what? Hold on, I got a good question for this. Outside of wrestling, what is your biggest influence on your wrestling career? Like outside of something that was developed from wrestling.
So like when I started the wrestling thing, like I was going to be a wrestler, then I donated a kidney and stuff. So then I was going to be a manager. And like, so like a lot of the stuff I was watching, cause like I didn't watch a lot of like, obviously I've seen Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jimmy Hart, like, you know what I mean? Paul Heyman, like at the time you could say like Selena Vega, Johnny Bravo on Impact. Like I watched the craft, right? But the thing is I've watched it, you've watched it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take something that's not wrestling and make it wrestling, right? Because like you got to take something maybe you haven't seen yet. Because if I give you the same stuff you've seen it.
Yeah.
So like Mike Tyson's guy, god damn it, Don King.
Yeah.
Don King was huge in an influence, right? Because like be bigger, everything that all my man did was promote a boxing match, right?
Yeah.
But for like 4 months before the match, like growing up in the 90s, it took over. Like you'd see it on all the talk shows, the news, press conferences, right? Like it was a spectacle. He was a spectacle. My man had big, crazy hair. He was over the top. Like he wasn't boxing, but fuck, was he just as important as Mike Tyson versus whoever his victim was going to be. Like, fuck.
Great way to put it.
So like Don King was a huge influence, like just spectacles, like I don't know, I'll binge watch something on Netflix just to get ideas, like reality, right? Like shit that's real. Like, what do I hate? All right, be that. Like, if I hate it, other people probably hate that.
Before everything with Trump, Ethan and I had an idea for a tag team where we were just going to be two Southern Republican boys that came out and just pretty much, we wanted heel heat. We wanted that fucking get the fuck out of here heat. We wanted to be jobbers and just lose to every fucking person we fought. But we were going to be like, my idea was like, we're only going to wrestle people who aren't white. That's it. That's our thing. And then that's just going to be the whole fucking gimmick we have until it runs its course and we're done. Until we've literally faced everyone.
Point is,
but then
owning the libs by losing.
But then 2020 happened, and I was like, well, we can never do that.
Man, 2020 changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, it changed. It's shit, man. You can't even get food really past 10 p.m. Like, that's crazy to me.
Ramshorn closed. Yeah. Ramshorn not being 24 hours anymore is the biggest tragedy to all.
Let's go over it. So, is Clinton? Is that what you miss the most about not being 24 hours anymore?
Dude, where else am I going to get something smothered in gravy at 2 a.m?
My house. Why?
Your wife doesn't make gravy,
but I do.
Oh God!
See, that's one of those like. That's one of those for content. You just got to literally test this theory on a live stream at 2 a.m. and wake my mans up and get some gravy.
Clint's on his fucking phone. He's live to all 7,300 of his fucking TikTok followers. He's like, I'm going to my buddy's house to get this. He steps on that fucking doormat outside my door and it goes at him. And I'm like, fuck, who's outside the door? Oh, it's Clint. He wants gravy. Sam's like, Clinton, if you don't get out of my fucking house right now. I'd be like, it's okay, babe. I gotta pull one out real quick and give him the gravy.
I have to give
sausage, chicken, or baby. What do you want?
Or baby gravy.
I hate you as a human being.
Shut the fuck up.
So Clint used to do stand-up, right? And I love comedy as well. And one of my biggest influence in comedy was a straight man in Harvey Korman. I fucking love Harvey Korman stuff. The Carol Burnett show, all the stuff he did with Mel Brooks. I love that stuff. The high anxiety stuff, the Blazing Saddles stuff. Love it. That's what influences me to do some of the dumb shit I do, the straight delivery stuff.
You loved Lance Storm.
I love Lance Storm.
You love Lance Storm.
He's my second favorite Twitter follower.
Oh,
my favorite is We Rate Dogs because it's dogs.
I love hitting you.
I'm sure you're gonna hit me next time you see me.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna play a clip of me shifting your teeth real quick.
What are you doing?
I was looking to see where he put his water bottle.
Oh, it's
right fucking there.
Damn.
I don't know what it's been lately. I've just been wanting to hit you so much.
Probably because you've been doing a podcast with me for a year and 2 months.
Straight. Almost every week.
Almost.
I haven't even promoted the shit we have to promote yet. Like the fact that we got the fucking Halloween quiz on Jordan the North channel and ours, where we're going to be putting these fuckos up against each other in a Halloween quiz. November 5th, apparently we're doing Extra Life, so we're going to be streaming for a full 24 hours. All the proceeds are going to go to charity. We're going to be doing video games. We're going to be doing a watch along of a pay-per-view. We're also going to be doing a live 4-post massacre. I
want to announce something here because this is almost a lock. We almost have a very special interview to happen live during Extra Life. Ladies and gentlemen, if it doesn't happen then, it is going to happen. We have an interview coming up with the Lizard from The Backyard.
Have you ever seen the movie The Backyard, Jeremiah?
No, but I was pretending to be like, oh yeah, that's amazing because I'm
gonna send you it on. I'll send it to you on Instagram. It's an 80-minute long documentary about backyard wrestling, and like Judy Bagwell, we got obsessed over this guy called the Lizard.
Hell yeah!
And he is He's the best. He's the last person to do an interview with the Lizard was Jimmy Kimmel.
Have you ever seen what's his name? Freight Train, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's hyping his matchup with Eugene.
Yep.
It's some of the great, like, that's a recommendation. What is wrestling? Just send people to that video on YouTube.
Our other person that joins us sometimes, he doesn't get Dalton Castle. And in the chat, I was just like, I love smooth sailing Ashley Remington.
What is there not to get about Dalton Castle? He has the boys. He's
the boys.
He's amazing. Like, I don't know.
Is he as good as Minute? Greatest backyard? Way better. Way better. The Lizard is
he competed on Tough Enough.
So our biggest
thing,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our biggest thing is this is the 20th anniversary of the Lizard. A couple of years ago, Clinton got a hold of another one of the other people from the show called one of the other people from the thing called Bo Gates. Well, the Lizard, I shit you know, this whole thing has come together in the last week. What happened was a couple of months ago, I got super drunk and I found him on Facebook.
Shock.
I found what his real name was. I went and searched.
Shock.
And I sent him a message and I'm like, okay, not a big deal. Like, he's never going to read this. Nothing's ever going to happen. So 2 days ago, I got a message and it said, hey, sorry it's been so long, yada, yada, yada. I'd love to do that. And I went, who the fuck is this? And then I'm like, amazing. And I looked at it for a second and I went, holy shit, it's 10:45 at night. And I immediately closed that out, hit call, hit fucking recent. And I'm like, Clinton, we got the Lizard. Like,
oh my God.
That's good shit though. Like, that's
Is this the link he was talking about?
Yeah, I sent it. I put that's the backyard.
Okay. Oh, that's the backyard.
It's back. Yeah, it's back on YouTube, by the way.
What was the link you wanted me to post from? What was the thing you told me to post, Jeremiah?
Oh, I think it's what is it? It's like Freight Train versus Eugene. It's a promo. It's if you've never watched it, it's very entertaining for all the right and wrong reasons.
To Eugene. Yep, I got it right here. I'm gonna post from High Spots.
It's really good. It's
there. Everyone goes. Click on both those links. Enjoy extra stuff that we give you.
I'm actually going to watch this Eugene promo.
So at some point, we should probably talk about what happened in wrestling this week. Am I right?
It's been 2 hours, man. I was about to tell everyone, just go to F4W Online, What Culture, Wrestle Talk.
All I want to say is there's two things I want to touch on Dynamite. One, Hangman.
He got hurt.
Feel better. Yeah. Like, that shit's wild. The entire goal is that everybody goes home to their families at the end of the night. Everybody's safe. I don't think this is Mox being an unsafe worker. Shit happens. And if I see anybody on a forklift posted thing saying anything about, oh, hey, he deserved that, fuck you, I'll ban you. I don't have a problem.
No, man.
Hey, Russ.
And yeah, thanks. Thanks, Russ. And then the MJF Regal stuff is probably the best way to build the match between MJF and Mox. Two of the best talkers in the business.
Just Regal playing just doing the psychology thing against MJF. And MJF's like, no, I earned this. I want to beat you at 110%. That's why we're doing it at Full Gear.
It's going to be good. So like AEW does good. AEW is a good product. Like, real talk, one of my favorite things besides the Zane Knoxville this year was the media scrum, right? Like, that was amazing. It was amazing television. I don't care who you are. Like, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost verbatim, like, there was a week there I could quote the CM Punk thing with like and I work with fucking children, because like, who hasn't felt like that? But like, I don't get to say that at my job, sadly. But like, no, like, and then they had to, fix everything because you're running $1 billion company. You got to suspend people. And like, where we're at right now with the stories after fixing stuff, I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He's trying.
For bad shows, I think they're finding their pace. I want so badly. There's a lot of negativity in the wrestling world. A lot of people want one company to succeed, one company to fail. We want everybody to succeed because that allows us to A, talk about more wrestling, B, get to watch more wrestling, and C, it gets an avenue for people in the indies that aspire to go to that length. If they have aspirations that are on high, you want more than one company. You need the Impacts, you need the GCWs to get that contract, the MLWs. You need those places for people to go. It's a constant growth scenario. People get old, people move on. It's not an industry where people last, generally speaking, where people last a long time in. So the exposure that's there, you want them to be able to have that. Wrestling is for everybody. Wrestling succeeding is the best thing possible for everybody as well.
The more venues to get wrestling, the more places there are for people to wrestle, the more money is there to be made for everybody. Like, it's just what it is, right? Like, if one closes down out of like the two big American companies, right? Like, it gets bad again. It just does, because you need competition, right? Like, if you have nobody pushing you, why are you going to put on the greatest product? Like, eventually you'll be like, we can just give them B. If there's nobody else trying to give them A, B becomes A, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just that whole thing is that competition breeds better products on both ends. It was that way in WCW. The reason there was 12 million people a week watching wrestling was because those two brands, like, what was going to happen to outshine the other?
That was like I was a fan during that. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, that was real. Like, everybody always goes, oh, we're in the wrestling boom again, right? But like, it's not like that was. Like, everybody and their mom had a DX or an NWO shirt. Like,
you went to school and you talked to your buddies about wrestling. It didn't matter if they were like big wrestling fans or not. That shit was on in the house. Their dad was watching it.
Everybody watched it. Everybody knew what suck it meant. Everybody was too sweeting. Everybody, it was like, it was for real. Like, the culture was about wrestling. Like, it was crazy. Like, Bullet Club kind of got us there, but like, it still wasn't that vibe, that full vibe. You know what I mean? Like, you had to be there type shit. It was crazy.
Russ, if you have anything to say, you can just click that link and join us because you have it.
Tony, so when I was wearing my DX shirt to school and I got asked to politely cover the bare asses on the back of it, how many other people were actually wearing wrestling shirts to school? Like, fucking none.
Yeah. But that was high school though. That's 2005 to 2009.
It was 2006 or 2007 when that happened. That might have been post WrestleMania. I'm not sure.
We're going to be wrapping this up here soon, guys, because I've been up since 7. I'm a tired boy.
I've had an absolute blast. Jeremiah,
I have
been
too.
a fantastic guest to us.
Oh, no.
I'm
love talking, man.
I'm going to extend the invitation, and I know Clint will as well. Anytime you want to get on here, anytime there's an FU show coming up, feel free to pop in. We love to promote the stuff. Clint, do you mind popping up the FU page or the poster flyer for the show?
Got it.
Man, so inside secret, right? Each one of the flyers for this show is based on a real Goosebumps book.
Yes. Nastily bumps.
And they each took about an hour to hand make. It was a miserable process. And I would never recommend it to anybody ever.
So I'm gonna say we'll call this 2 hours. We got about 6 minutes left. Jeremiah, do you want to give us a rundown of like what's been announced card wise? Kind of give us a short preview of
like I got the whole card's been announced for the most part because like I don't know, you don't need secrets. I want you to come see the show. So let me pull up that handy dandy
notebook
Facebook app.
Here's the mail. It never fails. It makes
me want to wag my tail when it comes. I want to wail.
Mail.
Am I tripping, or did you guys just do the Blues Clues mail theme?
No, we did the Blues.
Yep.
That happened.
Absolutely.
Ooh, the room is spinning.
Well,
wait a minute. My room is turning blue. That means there's a clue.
Yours too?
Shut
the
fuck up.
So we're starting off with a FU tradition, right? Because so we have it's our second annual Battle Rumble, known as Battle Rumble 2, the Get Your Shit In Battle Rumble. Because so my thing with the indies is I've never seen I'm not gonna say good Royal Rumble or Battle Royals, but few and far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, if I'm doing one, it's got to have 30 people and it's got to be good.
Yeah, I love it. Over the top and overboard. That is awesome.
So we're starting off FU 6:45 with the Get Your Shit In Battle Rumble 2. Winner gets the golden oh shit button, which can be pressed at any time to get yourself a title shot, any belt. If you want the trios, bring 2 friends. I don't care. You got a button. Woo!
That's awesome.
That's is it the Staples Easy button painted gold?
No, I found one that was gold that I could just record stuff on.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, no. I was like, oh man, somebody else had this idea for a gold button. They're using it to train dogs. I've seen these now. You can train dogs to talk with these buttons.
If Jeremiah's cool with it, I'll show up with a camera and I'll fucking just live stream it from here.
We have a live stream. Yeah, we have a pay-per-view feed. It's the guys at Wrestling Rage help us run it, and it's on the For Us Wrestling page on Facebook.
Okay,
I want to say
we'll put that out on our Facebook page.
$10.
We'll put that up on our Twitter and shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So then we got the People's Championship, currently held by Mongo, and we did a fans vote, right? You leave your emoji or whatever designated for the dude, because it's the people's belt, so the people decide who fights for that belt. And that got scrapped because Mongo was like, I want to fight all of them. So now he's fighting Crash Jackson, which is a whole lot of dude. He's killing it on the indie scene. LaDon Sanders, which is he's like a pimp, and Colonel Sanders had a baby. Mm-hmm. He's all about the breast and thighs. And then
is this what Kevin's doing on his nights off?
Bro, he owns a chicken place, man. I don't know. He's the Colonel of Clapping Cheeks, LaDon Sanders. I love him. He's fantastic.
That's awesome.
And then you got FU's one of our the crowd favorites, Kenzie James.
She's great.
She's a badass. She's out here doing shit. I'm I couldn't do that. That's crazy. Top tier talent. Let's see. You got Danny Moe. She's coming in. Female wrestler, been all over. She was on WWE Raw 2 months ago, fighting Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and somebody else. And they were in Pittsburgh.
Oh, the Bianca Belair, the match. Yeah.
She was on. She got choked out by Asuka, but it was close.
You're lucky, woman.
It was close. Mm-hmm. She's coming. Besides her, I mentioned earlier, you got the Neon Ninja Facade taking on ROH legend Jason, former tag team champ, member of the set.
That's cool.
Oh,
yeah,
that's pretty dope.
I hate Jason. He's a piece of crap. He's a Halloween Mr. Potato Head. All right, and Facade's gonna whoop his ass. That's all I'm saying. I said a boo boo. My bad. You got John the Ref. I don't know if you guys just started coming. So we have the trios belts, and our original champs were this guy. They were called Strange Bedfellows. It was this dude, Alex OnlyFansant.
Mm-hmm. We are very aware of AVZ.
Of Mr. AVZ. His boy Jamie Eternal, and then their partner retired, so they needed a new partner. They hosted a dating game thing where they tried to find a partner, and then they ended up choosing John the Ref, who's just a ref, at our show, and he became a trios champ. And then they lost the belts to Social Reality. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, they snapped and they beat the shit out of John. And now they're not done. So we're going to resolve that. You got the trios belts, speaking of Social Reality. They're taking on the fun-loving criminals, a Detroit staple.
Mm-hmm.
That's the DBA, Jamie Cox, Eddie Venom. If you know the indie scene around here, these guys have been around forever. XICW legends.
I used to play hockey with Jamie Cox's cousin.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's one of the
crazy.
Dumb little things.
So they're fighting. Then a match you all can get excited about. We're bringing in the most requested guy we've had to bring in the Michigan scene, right? Like, and this is facts. Like, I'm not going to make this up just to like boost people's egos. You talk, we listen. The amazing Nate Matson. It's been around for forever, right? Great wrestler, good. I like him. People are like at the after party every show. You got to bring in amazing Nate, and I'm just like, I didn't realize this many people wanted Nate to be there. So finally, we're doing it. But like, we discovered a new fan favorite also at the last FU in the Great Tiger. So the Great Tiger is taking on amazing Nate Matson. First time ever at FU. It might have happened before somewhere else, but it wasn't there, so it don't matter. And then the main event, the match of matches.
Mm-hmm.
Our champion, the Mark Ross, Mr. 401k, Phil Collins himself, taking on Adam effing Wick for the big one.
You're allowed to swear on here. I don't know if you were trying to not to. We don't care.
Oh, no, I love swearing. Like, even if I can, I try not to, because then when I do it, it means more.
That's a
Great Tiger of ISW?
No, he's the Great Tiger of Michigan.
Tiger.
Oh, and then we got one other match. We got a Rookie of the Year match, which if you've been following any of the newer kids, we have Top Gun taking on KJ Reynolds, taking on Ryan Matthias. 3 of the hottest young kids. They've all been under a year doing this, but they're all making names on the indie scene.
It's going to be
Can you spill the beans on anybody who's going to be in that Rumble? We got any names on that? Some surprises? Anything?
Man, there's let's see, people who are debuting that maybe don't know because of their picture on the thing. The weed dealer of FU want to make a debut because there's a lot of weed smoking going on and be getting his money. And like, that sounds like a me problem, but I told him nobody's been paying. So like, now it's everybody else's problem. So he's coming to take care of that. His name is Samson too. Like, it's weird. And you're going to recognize his theme if you've seen a good stoner movie. He's going to be fun.
Okay.
Right? Like, that's one I'm excited for. Because, like, everything about him's real. He's really big. He's really a drug dealer. He's really named Samson. And he really wants his money. It's going to be fun. I do know there's a return in the Rumble. There's a few returns that have been at FU that haven't been there in a while. I can't spoil those because you got to have a few secrets.
That's what we want.
I know you do, but I can't.
No, we want
that.
We want people to show.
Oh, this is easy. That's super easy.
I do know Social Reality, even though they're the Trios champs, are in the Rumble. They somehow got in.
Mm-hmm.
So you have champions in the Rumble. Anybody can be in the Rumble that wanted to be in the Rumble. So anything's going to happen in that Rumble. Like, the first Rumble ever is actually on YouTube if you want to watch it.
We'll post it. We'll post a link on our Twitter to that. No, we want people to be surprised. I don't want them spoiled here. Tune in. We're gonna post the link. We'll get Rage. Was it Rage Wrestling?
Wrestling Rage.
Wrestling Rage. We'll
get the link.
That.
So I'll send you guys the link for the actual thing. It's on FU. Like, they just operate it through the FU page.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's gonna be cool. Like, I don't know. We started doing our own live streams because fuck it.
Okay.
We can do a pay-per-view. That's easy.
Yeah,
All you need is some webcams and some good wrestling.
We paid $20 for GCW pay-per-view from the Hammerstein Ballroom earlier this year that looked like somebody did it off a handy cam. So fuck yeah, I'm sure you guys can do it.
Oh yeah, like, it's easy. Like, and we only charge 10. and you get just as much show.
Yep.
Like people were like, bro, you run a long show. And I'm like, yeah, but we run like every other month. And like, if I spend $20, I want money's worth. I don't know about you guys. I hate when I spend $20 and it feels like I only get $10.
Everybody give Jeremiah $10 and then watch Clint's TikTok.
Whenever I kill Ethan, it's going to be on TikTok. That's going to be the evidence.
It is. That's going to be the end. It'll be the most viewed video on his feed.
We're going to sign off though before Ethan keeps running his mouth.
I'm going to keep.
Thank you, Jeremiah, very much for being on.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, there's his Instagram down there. Go follow him at the 24K Lion, Jeremiah Goldmain. My name was Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman. To my right,
I'm Ethan Hubbard. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3, or you can find me in the bottom of a casket after Clinton ends my life.
it's going to happen.
And below us is Tony. Tony, what are you?
Part of the show.
You can find us on Twitter at On a Forklift Pod, On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify, Twitch On a Forklift Wrestling Pod, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. on UPN. And as always, we love you, Judy. Ethan loves his ice.
Yeah, Judy.
We love you, Judy. Good night, everyone.